Mr. Vonnegut, you're here in town this weekend to talk about the importance of reading and writing in today's world. It's always been a bit ironic to me when I interview a writer on television, because so many writers tell me, well, it's television is to blame for the decline in reading in America. Is TV the culprit?
Yeah, I think so, and it is it's just a machine, you know, and I think we had no idea what the hell it was going to do to us. And yeah, it has cut down on reading, and reading is a skilled thing to do. I mean, it's like ice skating or playing the French horn, and you really, it's hard to learn. As most people said, people who are literate, even if they've been to grad school, they've spent practically the whole time learning how to read and write. And it's the only art that requires skill on the part of the audience, is people have to read well.
It requires an involvement, a responsibility on the part of the reader.
But a skilled performance, it's almost like playing an instrument, except the instrument you're playing is your mind instead, starting with these little marks on paper. And so, yeah, TV, all you have to do is look at it, you know. And I have found, trying to stimulate a college audience to do something, you know, is to motivate them to go to do something, and they don't. It's just like one more TV show, you know, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go out and buy that underarm deodorant if you don't want to, or whatever the TV is urging you to do. And speakers urging the audience to go do something. They don't take it seriously anymore because you don't have to do anything.
How do you encourage reading and writing? Do you suggest keep a journal? That used to be one of the #1 rules of a writer. You're going to keep a journal, and things will happen within that journal. But again, it's a relationship and a working relationship.
Yeah, but I think the value of a journal is simply that you write a lot, and it's just like, well, I mean, Mark Spitz spent his whole life in the swimming pool, right?
Right.
He's going up and down, and that's how come he can do it better than anybody else. And yeah, they'll say keep a journal, because that means you write every day. And in the generation before mine, American writers mostly came up through journalism and often hadn't even finished high school, as Mark Twain or Ring Lardner or any of those people. They'd come up through newspapers, and if you work on a newspaper, you write 3, 4, 5, 6 stories a day about anything, you know, and you're writing and you're writing and you're writing, and your mind is saying, okay, I guess this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do a lot of it, and so you get skilled that way. And this wonderful high school I went to, Shortridge, we had a daily paper. It had a daily paper so long that my parents had worked on the Shortridge Daily Echo before I had, and so a whole lot of writers came out of Shortridge. Head writer on the I Love Lucy show, a woman named Madeline Pugh. I knew her when she was a student. Dan Wakefield, my brother, novelist and journalist, came out of there, and a hell of a lot of editors and writers for, you know, trade journals or down on that level came out of Shortridge, and they could write because Shortridge had them writing all the time. That's the main thing.
So what did Shortridge do right? So many impressive people have come out of Shortridge over the years. What lesson could people learn today from the Shortridge model?
To honor the teachers as leading members of the community rather than servants like firemen or policemen. And the very high morale operation, and their salaries weren't high there at Shortridge. The Great Depression was going on, but the people were so proud, and they were so well educated themselves. And during the Depression, any steady job was a plum job. And so wonderfully educated people with master's degrees or doctor's degrees would consider themselves pretty lucky to be teaching in a high school.
Okay.
But they really knew their subjects. And
did they know how to inflame the mind of the young person to make them interested in that?
Well, the whole school did. And so if there was a teacher who knew his subject or her subject, who had kind of a dud personality, the high energy of the school carried you along anyway, as you were glad to get the information anyway. But my brother, for instance, went to Park School, but he bicycled into Shortridge every day to study chemistry under Frank Wade, who was not just nothing ordinary about the man. The man was an extraordinary chemist, and such people are no longer encouraged to go into education. And I think there's a strong anti-intellectual strain in the United States, is, the pointy-headed intellectuals scorning these people who know a lot of science or whatever.
It's not going to get a young person a date on a Saturday night.
No. And, I think the Japanese are very pleased to have
with
us,
our attitude about that.
They're very pleased to have us so little interested in activities of the mind. I'm talking about the general public. But at Shortridge, as great a school as it was, the athletes, the lettermen, looked on the rest of us as though we were all wimps and fairies, of course. And the model is Greek, because great athletes used to, help win the Battle of Thermopylae or whatever, because those battles were hand-to-hand, and a really strong guy. And then the great runner who ran all the way back to Athens to say that the battle had been won, and then dropped dead and all that. His bodies really mattered. But I think the Japanese are delighted to see us building these sports training centers and concentrating on winning gold medals, because I didn't know what's going on at all.